Have you ever noticed this type of person? They're always fine. They show up, they handle things, they never complain, but no one really knows what they're dealing with. And maybe that person is you. You don't talk about your stress, your doubts, your burnout. You just carry it, quietly. Not because you don't feel things, but because you learned not to show them. Today, we're talking about the psychology of people who never share their problems, why they bottle everything up, what it protects, and what it slowly costs. Because this trait isn't weakness, but it isn't harmless either. Let's start with something important. People who never share their problems aren't emotionally unaware. They're emotionally guarded. Very guarded. Most of them learned early that opening up didn't feel safe. Maybe when they tried before, it backfired. They were dismissed, judged, ignored, or told to just deal with it. So their brain adapted. It said, "All right, we'll handle things alone." And over time, that became an identity. I don't need help. I don't want to be a burden. I'll figure it out myself. Sounds strong, and in many ways it is. But strength can turn into armor, and armor gets heavy. Here's the first core reason they don't share. They associate vulnerability with loss of control. Opening up feels unpredictable. Once you speak, you can't take it back. What if the other person reacts wrong? What if they see you differently? What if they leave? So staying silent feels safer than risking disappointment. This is why these people often procrastinate on asking for help, even when they're overwhelmed, even when they're drowning. They'll lose sleep, burn out, push through exhaustion, anything but admit, "I'm not okay." The second reason is deeper. They learned to self-soothe instead of co-regulate. Most people process emotions by talking them out. They vent, they release. But people who don't share problems do the opposite. They internalize, they analyze, they distract. They scroll, they work more, they stay busy. On the outside, they look productive, focused, independent. On the inside, emotions pile up with no exit. This is why they often feel tired for no obvious reason, why motivation disappears randomly, why they feel behind even when they're doing a lot. Nothing is being released, it's all being stored. Now, here's the part no one talks about. Silence becomes a coping mechanism. Not sharing starts to feel normal, comfortable, even superior. They may think, other people are too emotional. I don't need to talk things out. I handle my stuff. But the truth is, emotions don't disappear when ignored. They leak. Through irritability, through numbness, through sudden withdrawal. This is why these people often vanish when life gets hard. They isolate instead of reaching out. Not because they don't care, but because they don't know how to let others in. Let's talk about relationships. People who never share their problems often struggle with emotional intimacy. Not commitment, not loyalty. Intimacy. They can listen to others for hours, give advice, be supportive, but when it's their turn, they deflect, change the subject, downplay everything. "I'm good. It's not a big deal. I'll manage." Over time, this creates distance. Partners may feel shut out. Friends may stop asking, not because they don't care, but because every door stays closed. And the silent person feels misunderstood, unseen, even though they never showed what was inside. Here's the inner conflict. They want to be understood, but they don't want to be exposed, so they choose control over connection, every time. Now, let's shift, because there is a healthy side to this trait. People who don't share easily are often highly self-aware, resilient, deep thinkers, emotionally disciplined. They don't overshare. They don't react impulsively. They can sit with discomfort longer than most. That's powerful, but power needs balance. Independence without expression turns into isolation. Strength without softness turns into exhaustion. So what's the solution? Not suddenly telling everyone everything. That won't feel natural, and it won't stick. The real shift is smaller. Step 1. Name it privately. You don't have to share yet. Just stop pretending everything is fine in your own head. Say it clearly. I'm overwhelmed. I'm burned out. I'm scared. Naming emotions reduces their intensity. It gives you back control. Step 2. Choose one safe outlet. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world, and that's okay. But someone should have it. One person, one journal, one voice note, one place where the pressure can leave your system. You don't need advice, you need release. Step 3. Practice low-stakes honesty. You don't start with your deepest wounds. You start small. I've been tired lately. This week's been heavy. I'm not at my best today. Training your nervous system to realize sharing doesn't equal danger. Nothing collapses, no one leaves, and slowly connection feels safer. Here's the truth. People who never share their problems are often the strongest in the room, but they're also the loneliest. Not because no one cares, but because they never gave anyone the chance. You don't have to carry everything alone to prove your strength. Sometimes real strength is letting one crack form in the armor. Just one. So here's your takeaway. If you're the one who never opens up, you don't need to change who you are. You just need to stop disappearing inside yourself. Start with one small release tonight.